Here we go, just doing some trimmer maintenance on all of our hedge trimmers. I'm going to be greasing the heads. So there's a little 1/2-inch bolt here on the side, and then you can see now there's a cavity you can get grease into. And what we have is a nice little battery powered grease gun. I'm going to be putting on this tip. So this tip allows me to get in there and get the grease to go directly to the inside of that. So let's go ahead and get this started. So I'm going to have to take the end of this off. Oh man, that's on there. I wonder if it's reverse threads. Alright, got that loose. Now I'm just going to unscrew that. That's for putting it on the Zerk fittings, and I'm going to place it with this for the time being so I can grease all the trimmer heads. Looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I got 5 of them to do. So this will make it quick and easy. Let's see. Oh yeah, the other thing I did was I took off the head because there was a bunch of grass and stringy stuff wrapped around this. It's always a good idea to take the heads off every once in a while to check back there and make sure that's all cleaned out. So now that is, this can go back on. And actually I'm gonna restring the heads before I put them back on, but show you how the grease is gonna work. That one was already full, so I was just checking. This one doesn't need it. Probably doesn't get used a whole lot. I think this is one of the ones, yeah, it's one of the ones that we use for landscaping, so it doesn't go out every single day. I'm guessing the other ones are going to have a little bit more need for the grease. I'm going to go ahead and put that screw back on. I could already see the grease when I was taking the screw out, so I should have known. All right, that one's good to go. Now I'm going to check the other ones. All right, here's a good one to check. See if we have the same thing going on. This is one that the mowers crews use, so it should be needing a little bit more. Just like that, one pump and it's already out to the end. So these heads don't take much. And just clean it up when you're done. And I'm also going to check check under the head on this one as well. So there's a little bit of a hole right here. I can line this tool up. And then counterclockwise, or actually clockwise. This is reverse threads on the head, in case you didn't know. Yeah, this one's pretty clean. There's a little bit of buildup on the edge, but it's really not that bad. But I'm going to clean it up anyways. So I have my pocket knife out. Works good for cleaning up because it's stuck on there a little bit. That's pretty clean now. And now, back we go. Other one done. Here's a good one that's got a lot of buildup in here. Get a good look at all the junk that builds up under there. Looks like some twine, maybe some longer grass, weeds, whatever. This one had a lot of it. Now that one is nice and clean. And all of this is not going to be slowing it down at all. That is all the grease you need. This little head is a small area, so doesn't need a lot of grease to begin with. But if you never check it, then you might have a buildup, or if you never check it, you might get into a situation where it starts to run out. But these ones were looking pretty good, so they didn't need a lot. On to the next one. So now this one's got some interesting things to note. It's got a little bit of stringy stuff on the inside of this cap here. So I'm going to get all that cleaned up. And also, on the inside of this, we got a lot of grease coming out of the area, the shaft, the spindle, I don't know what it's called exactly, and there's a lot of grass built up on the edges as well, and whatever else, string maybe, twine. Let me see, there's a lot here. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. This one probably is the worst one of the bunch, just because it's got some material inside and underneath of that, underneath of this cap. All the other ones were clean inside the cap and inside here. So I want to get this one looking like the other ones, and then see if, maybe that's an ongoing problem that this grease leaking out. Maybe get something there. Probably a flathead screwdriver. Flathead screwdriver should work. I'm gonna have this paper towel ready. I'm gonna try and scrape out all of this. Yeah, there's like grease mixed with some stringiness. I don't even know what kind of schmutz. Definitely needed cleaned out. I'm curious why there's a bunch of grease back in here in the first place, when the other ones had none. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some brake cleaner to clean the grease out. That looks pretty good. See the little ring clips in there to hold the piece in, and I'm not going to mess around with that. I'm going to clean out the cap a little bit. So this is starting off fresh. But look, here's all the stuff that came around the head, came out. So it's good to get that cleaned up. I'm going to clean the grease out of the inside of this cap. Then I'm going to put everything back together. Bada bing, bada boom. Check the grease. And just like that, it's already full. Yeah, so I'm noticing that most of these probably didn't need any, but it's always good to check them and do some preventative maintenance. So I want to prevent any problems from coming. I can do this once, twice a year. Just make sure everything is functioning the way it should be and everything's cleaned up too. So all those grass pieces and the string that was wrapped around, that's always good to get that done. Here we go again. Look at all that nastiness. All wrapped around the inside of this cap. Now that's probably not good for your weed whacker to have all that inside of it. Just a guess. So very glad that I'm doing this. Much needed. Probably hasn't been done in a while, if maybe ever. So it's never too late, but definitely want to have a nice start to the year and not have any problems with equipment in the spring rush. So it's nice to be able to have some downtime here in the winter. We don't have any snow on the ground, and yeah, we can address things like this since it is slow. Just gonna go ahead and scrape anything that might be still stuck in there with my knife. Let me see, does this look? Yeah, this is looking clean. So I'm gonna guess this is the 1, 2, 3. This is the 5th one, the last one, and inside here, if you guys can see, there's no grease in there, which I think is what it's supposed to look like. There was one of them that had grease all inside there, all inside here, and none of the other ones did. So I'm guessing that's not what it's supposed to look like. So I'm guessing there's probably a leak in the seal that goes around this shaft here. So I'm guessing that one probably has leaks grease out through there, so probably needs looked at further. But I mean, the weed whacker still will function. It's just gonna have a messy. It's gonna be a little messy inside the underneath of the head. At least as far as I know, it's functioning as it should. This one had a bunch of stuff. Almost rolled under the bench, of course. So, once again, I'm gonna grease the head. I'm guessing it doesn't have a lot. And one squeeze was it. So this is a lithium grease. It's a red, high temperature grease. And inside these weed whacker heads, because they spin at such a high revolution, definitely gets high temperature. So, all right. Now all the weed whackers are greased up. I'm gonna check the heads and make sure they're all loaded up with string. Here's another head I found. Got some more stuff. Ooh, yeah. So that is clean inside there, but look at the cap. That is caked with grass. All wrapped around everywhere. It's all bird's nest in there. Much needed, much deserved cleanup on a lot of this equipment. I'm just going ahead and clean up around this, and then this one can go back in action. Yeah, so we have two 2 pass systems made by Echo, which means they have interchangeable heads. So the ones with the interchangeable heads we use a lot for our landscaping jobs, because sometimes we need a weed whacker attachment, and then other times we don't need the weed whacker attachment, we want a hedge trimmer attachment, or other times we want to use the paddle wheel attachment. So we're able to swap it out. The mowing crews have dedicated attachment, or they don't use they have dedicated trimmers that are only string trimmers. They don't have an interchangeable head. You can't swap them out because you don't need to. That was not all the way tight yet. Now we're good. I'll go ahead and check the head for grease. Looks like there's still some pretty close to the top here, but I'll go ahead and shoot one little. That's all it'll take. Once it's at the end, that's all it has. And even spinning the head doesn't make more room for it, so that's how you know it's full. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. And another one done. Alright guys, this is the Echo Speed Feed head. I'm going to give you a little tutorial on just how easy and fast it is to restring it. So this one's empty, and I'll show you how that's done. This isn't a full roll, but it'll be a pretty good. See, it's not super long, but there's a little piece that we had laying around, so I figured I'd use it up. So basically, here's what you're going to do. You're going to spin the head until you see where the holes line up. So once I line this up, you can see straight through. There you go. You can see straight through the head. Well, right there where the string goes through. You don't have to take this part off. I just did, so I was making sure that this was in fact a speed feed head. I was starting to think maybe it wasn't. But I'll put that back on. So now I can see straight through. I'm going to feed this line through there. And then I'm just going to even out these two ends. And make sure I pull the slack out tight. So, with that done, you're going to hold this bottom plate from spinning, and you're going to turn it this direction. So I'm going to put the head facing down so the string doesn't keep wrapping around, but basically just keep doing that, and it slowly retracts the string into the head. There we go. Slowly, you can go as fast as you want. get done faster, but I like to take my time and do it right. It's still fast. Now I'm going to keep clicking this until my string is at the same length as this cutting edge right here. So I'm going to click it one more time. And that's pretty close, so it'll cut the little tip off when I start it. Cut a little bit off of this end when I start it, and actually put it at full throttle. So that's the speed feed head, guys. Thanks for watching.